Over the weekend, Comptua set up shop in Taiwan at the Taipei Game Show, a local gaming conference. A reporter there got a chance to interview the executive producer of Summoner's War Chronicles. This entire article is in Korean, so bear with me as we sift through the Google Translate translation. As you know, Chronicles has only been released in both Korea and North America. Overall, the game has done well, but with some very notable issues, namely the slow global release. Many people in the official Discord and online are eagerly awaiting any news regarding a global release. This answer seems to invoke a set release date of springtime this year for a global release. That could be as early as March or as late as June of this year. The developers were specifically in Taipei to feel out the waters and oversee the release of Summoner's War Chronicles to Taiwanese players. Now, the developers love to throw around this term global release for every new region that they open up. Let's hope that they actually mean it this time.
You keep using the word. I don't think it means what you think it means.
Now, I know this is sad news for a lot of players, and to be honest, I know there is a lot of obstacles for any release of any major game in any region, but I feel this slow release just causes a lot of undue stress for both potential players and the developers. I will continue to monitor the interwebs and any news regarding the global release. The rest of the interview did get into a lot of things that I'd like to talk about, a lot of future updates, content, and changes to the game directly from the executive producer himself. This part of the interview was a metric ton of information all in one. Let's sift through each part of it now. The interviewer asked if they could tell us the current status of Summoner's War Chronicles since its release in September, and they also asked if they had any major changes coming here in 2023. The executive producer talked about all the things that they've already added to the game: PvP, Battlefield, 1v1 Arena, boss dungeons, the Galagos Runes update that is coming this Thursday. But he also talked about some major updates that are going to be coming to the game later in 2023. First, a new continent update that continues the main story. Now, we already knew this was kind of coming. As we saw on the top left, our main story quest was just sort of sitting there waiting for our new continent, so this is nothing new. Second, the translation says something about equipment synthesis system. Now, roughly translated, I think this has to do with what we've heard, rumors-wise, about the ability to change substats on our equipment, both accessories and weapons. This would be extremely nice. As you know, our summoners have become an extremely powerful source of combat power, and is often focused more by players than monsters and their runes. They also talked about new equipment additions, which could simply mean a new set, much like the new Twisted Marsh set that we just got, or it could mean entirely different types of equipment, which is obviously what I would hope for. Next, they talked about a summoner skill expansion, so I would imagine just more trees or more branches, or just simply more skills on the tree that we already have. Either way, new skills, hopefully something really unique, is going to bring a lot of excitement back into building your summoner. A new elite raid, which is pretty obvious that they would continue to build new content around the raid system. It's one of the better systems that we currently have in the game, and it's one of the more fun aspects of the game right now, is raiding and raiding with your friends. They did mention guild housing system. Right now, I'm in a really great guild, shout out to Dior, so having some form of a guild housing system would be a really fun way for our guild to gather together, to work towards something, because right now it seems like the guilds really just have a score, and that's about the only thing that we are sort of fighting for as a guild. So it would be really nice for our guild and other guilds to be able to have something to sort of grind for, to have something to kind of show their achievement as a guild. Next, they talked about the guild occupation war, which obviously is probably an issue with translating. This probably is going to be the guild battle, which we have heard about so much. I think this is going to be some of the coolest and most fun content that we get in 2023 is the guild battles. It really, again, hits home on that idea that what are we fighting for as a guild? So we're grinding, and we want something really fun to do as a guild. Unfortunately, they took out parties in Battlefield, so not really sure why that decision was made, but this will be a really nice addition, so that way the guilds have something to do together. We will have to see how large these guild battles will be. I would imagine it's going to be somewhere between 9 and maybe 15 players all at once battling another guild, or they could do something similar to old school Sky Arena, where each guild member has a defense and they can go and attack the other team's defense in a 1v1. I hope this isn't the case, because what I'm really looking for is the ability to play with my friends in the guild all at once, all at the same time. Now, this next part of the translation talks about a summoner symbol system. Now, I'm not exactly sure what this could mean. Perhaps maybe something like it's a global alliance. Maybe there's like two different alliances, something like World of Warcraft, where you have one side versus another side, and based off the amount of contribution, perhaps your side or your alliance gets buffs or something like that. I could be completely off on this one. This is one I want you guys to comment on down below. What do you guys think this actually means? Really excited to see what they implement here. This one is huge. A new summoner class. Now, we already kind of had a feeling that they were going to be adding more summoner classes in the future. It just seemed like it was one of the types of content that would really do well in this game. Right now, we have Cleef, Orbia, and Kina. Kina being a real support / healer, Orbia just being a straight up damage dealer, and Cleef has gotten probably the most change, and he's gone from sort of being a tank into more of being a warrior class. And we've talked about this before in other videos. It seems that the summoners really are fitting the same classes that the monsters fall into. So Kina falls into the support class, Orbia falls into, I think, the mage class, and then so that leaves Cleef, who's been probably changed up the most, going from perhaps the knight class to more of the warrior class. At least that's what it seems like they've been doing with the changes, buffs, and nerfs to Cleef. So that leaves us with a couple different options for a new summoner. Could be an assassin type, could be an archer type. It even could be a knight class, which would be a true tank character. Now, we do have some changes coming on down the future on how we upgrade our summoners. Specifically to Transcendence, we've already seen that they're taking away the Transcendence requirement from our other summoners. So I'm a Cleef main, and so they would be taking away the Transcendence cost to my Orbia and to my Kina, making it a lot easier for me to level up those monsters. What I think they really want us to do is to be able to interchange between our summoners for different types of content based off of what we need. So it'll be really important for them to implement that Transcendence change, make it a lot cheaper for us to transcend our summoners, make it a lot easier for us to go on our alts and go ahead and get those summoners leveled up. In this last part of the interview, they are going to offer us some really cool stuff. A friendly arena mode, which is going to be really awesome. I can't tell you how many times I've wanted to test out some of my stuff or test out new monsters or strategies, perhaps against friends or guildmates. Honestly, having a inter-guild little tournament would just be a lot of fun. So I'm really excited that they're adding some sort of friendly mode into the PvP scene. They're also going to be adding a training ground, which I think is super important because it gives us an opportunity to test out new monsters, gives us an opportunity to test out teams and see what might work best before actually going into real scenarios, real raids with other players. The last future bit of update content that we got was the new Battlefield and Battlefield ranking system, which is massively important. Right now, Battlefield is so incredibly unbalanced with Warrior 3s and War Heroes going up against a bunch of guards and just absolutely slaughtering them, giving the guards absolutely no chance to complete any part of the Battlefield content. This is going to be really awesome to have a ranking system. Perhaps there's going to be like a quick play mode and a rank mode, but based off of the amount of players and kind of what they've been doing already, I doubt there's going to be two different modes and probably just going to be a single ranked mode, which is going to be awesome. Finally, we'll get guards versus guards, knights versus knights, and war heroes versus war heroes. So it's going to be really tough for the war heroes to find matches, but I think this is going to be the best thing for the enjoyment of the Battlefield content. Okay, let's switch gears to another question. There was a lot of questions and answers that had to do mostly about regional content and regional issues, but I'd like to switch over to this question, which specifically talked about the possibility of future esports in Summoners War Chronicles. As you know, Summoners War Sky Arena has a pretty decent size esports scene with multiple years of SWC, or the main world tournament that they put on every year. Obviously, this is going to be a long time down the road until we see this sort of thing implemented, but I think it will be an important part of the longevity of Summoners War Chronicles and the future enjoyment. Alright guys, that's really all there is to the important stuff of this interview. I will leave a link down in the comments to the article. It is in Korean, so you'll need to translate that. But outside of that, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you guys learned something. I hope that we see a lot of these changes very quickly. And most importantly, I hope that we see a global release to all of our patient future players here very soon in the near future. Alright guys, if you like my content, make sure to leave a like. If you want to see more videos, make sure to hit that subscribe button. I do go live at least once a week, so make sure to hit the bell notification if you want to know when I go live. I have my Discord link down in the description if you have any questions. As always, thank you for watching. I'm TopherSmurf telling you to keep on gaming.